I call this type of vlog the farm, the running vlog, the inspirational vlog, because I always get motivated when I come for a run and I feel pumped. So this video is about, you're not as bad as you think you are, man. Let me tell you, you are not as bad as you think you are. Listen, I am in a position right now that I feel like crap. I was super motivated, super pumped to do things, to accomplish whatever I wanted to accomplish, the goal, stop doing what I want. I said in my previous video, I'm striving for it, I'm working for it. But one thing that people may not talk about, or you may not be aware of, is that it will be time that you're gonna fall. It will be time that doubt will settle in your mind. It will be time where you won't have the motivation. It will be time that you wanna cave in and ask yourself, does all this necessary? Does all this matter? Am I ever going to gain anything from all this hard work and blood, sweat, and tears that I'm doing right now? You will have those days, and I'm having these days. Only one thing happened and everything else failed. So you have to be ready for these days. And when those days come, you have to remind yourself of this analogy that I'm about to give it to you. This analogy is about climbing a mountain. If they said the mountain is 3 miles to climb up, right? And you at the bottom looking up, you might tell yourself, oh my God, this is really far. This is extremely far. You would say that to yourself. Then you start walking. You start taking the first step, second step, third step. Now you halfway. The bike is 1.5 miles to go, but you halfway, and you start doubting yourself. You start asking yourself, man, still far. My leg is cramping. I'm out of breath. I don't think I can make it. Am I good enough to make it? Do I feel like worthy enough to make it to the top? All these questions may come into your mind. You look at the 1.5 mile to the top of the mountain, and then you can't even process the fact that you have to go for another 1.5 miles. You can't even think that you can do that 1.5 miles. Here's the thing that I want to tell you. Before you give up, or before you let these doubts stop you from keep pushing, you need to turn around and look where you're coming from and where you started from. That's it. Nothing special. You have to stop and look around and see where you started from. Because once upon a time, you wasn't halfway of the mountain. You were 3 miles away from the top. You wasn't halfway. You were all the way at the bottom, and you look at the mountain and you're like, man, can I do this? And you start stepping. And now you halfway. Stop doubting yourself. That's okay. If doubt comes, you're not in control of what will happen to you. But you see, you're not in control of how you feel. But you are in control of how you're reacting based on how you feel. That's what you need to remember. You need to remember that you are in control of how you're reacting based on how you feel. You're in control of how you're reacting based on all the doubts, all the questions, all the insecurity, all the lack of discipline. You are in control of how you're reacting. My message is, yes, have your day or having these thoughts and these questions, but don't let that stop you from keep stepping forward. Don't let it stop you from keep moving forward, because you are not as bad as you think you are, and you are not where you started from. You're not. You may not think that, because your eyes is on the prize. Your eyes is on the top of the mountain. So you may not really realizing that you're not at the bottom of the mountain anymore. You're not at the bottom of the mountain. You're halfway of the mountain. So keep stepping. You're stepping scary, you're stepping angry, you're stepping up. Whatever emotion you do have, keep stepping. But you would do yourself a disservice if you stop and you let those questions stop you from what you're trying to accomplish, okay? That was my message. I'm in the woods and I wanted to share that, because I feel that right now. I had a relapse. I had a moment of temptation and I failed because one thing didn't go as planned and I failed. But that's okay. I'm telling myself that's okay, because I'm not as bad as I am and I'm not as good as I think I am. And for sure, I am not where I started from. I'm way better than where I started from. I had a lot more work to do, but I'm not as bad. So we're gonna stay focused. We're not gonna let a small temptation dictate the goal, where we're going. Because where we're going, what we want to accomplish is bigger than how we feel. It's bigger than the temptation, and it's bigger than the mistake. We're gonna make a mistake, and we need to remember the goal. We need to remember where we're going, and we need to stay focused. All right, that was the message of the day. You know, you're not as bad as you think you are. You're just halfway up the mountain. When you feel doubt, when you feel insecurity, when you feel like you're not worthy to keep pushing, turn around and look where you started from. Remind yourself. Remember the days that you started from. Trust and believe you're not at those days anymore. You have grown. You have developed. You have become better. You probably don't know that. You need to give yourself a second. Think of these moments. Like, wow, I started from nothing. Mentally, I grew, I got a little better, so there's no point for me to feel like I need to start over. There is no starting over. It just, you fail, you get back up, you keep pushing. All right, message of the day. I'm out. Peace.